Good afternoon, everybody. Jamie's Unleashed Omaha. I know I did a video on thresholds the other day with Ray. This is Z. It's my next door neighbor's dog. He is completely untrained. No formal training, nothing. Not that great on the leash. Doesn't have a whole lot of response or anything yet. So I just want to show you guys how we start, or how I would start what I call charging the mark. Marker training is a type of training that uses operant conditioning, 4 different quadrants, to start to show the dog new behaviors, rewarding them for good behaviors, taking rewards away for not holding behaviors, using leash pressure to show the dog where you want to go. So I use a lot of classic conditioning in the beginning. As you can see, Z has no manners on the leash. He's just kind of pulling, doing what he wants, when he wants. So in the beginning of this, I want to charge the mark. So I want to make the word yes important. So I like to do this in doorways because I knock 2 birds out with 1 stone. As my dog starts to understand what the word yes is, then I bring it out into different places and I start building the power. So I'll tell him, are you ready? Are you ready to work? And in the beginning, it's an unconditioned stimulus, right? It's something that the dog doesn't know what the hell "are you ready" means, okay? But if you do 25, or you do 15, 20 sessions, and you start every single session out with "are you ready," it puts the dog into the working mindset. We're gonna go have fun. We're gonna go get paid for food, with toy, with whatever the dog finds valuable. In the beginning, we start using food, and then eventually, for some dogs that have good toy drive, or if we want to build toy drive in our dogs, we start using toy in the work as well. The great thing about toy drive is it doesn't diminish over time. Food drive, once a dog starts getting satiated, starts getting full, the drive for food starts going down because they're no longer hungry. So that's a really great tool about toy drive, is it doesn't extinguish, right? Most of the time, dogs will play and play and play and play and play and play. Most of the time, you will quit before the dog quits as far as play time, especially once you've taught the dog play. So this is the beginning stages of how we get markers to be important. So I train my dog that the word yes means food is coming. Food is coming. A reward of some type is coming to you. Eventually, I do the same thing with toy. I can do this if my dog likes a tennis ball or likes a frisbee. I can walk him inside and outside of the house with the toy. But the thing about bringing toy into play is there's rules with a toy. So I don't really start bringing in using toy as a reward until I've taught the rules of play, which are the dog must play with enthusiasm, the dog must let go of the toy when you ask them to, and the dog must bring back the toy to you as well. Unless you have all 3 of those components of toy play relationship, you need to continue working on that until you have that very, very solid. Otherwise, you waste a lot of time. The dog's running away with the toy, the dog plays with the toy, shakes it, fights you for it, and you waste way more energy on the dog, and you just kind of throw the whole component out, being able to use toy for obedience. So food is great because all you got to do is let the food go and let the dog eat it. So this is the beginning stage of marker training. Like I said, I started in the doorways because I can knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. I not only am charging the mark, but I'm also teaching the dog to stop at the doorway, in and out every single time, okay? Here's Z, training thresholds and charging the mark. Ready, buddy? You ready? Yes. I'll mark him a couple times with yes. He doesn't know what yes means. I can say yes. The dog has no idea what that means, but if I say yes, and now I offer him food, yes. Yes. I do this a number of times, yes. It's going to start to understand the pattern, yes, of the food comes out every time I say the word yes. My dog doesn't have to do anything right now. Yes. I'm just simply saying the word yes, followed by dropping food available for him to start eating. Yes. Like you see, there's no response yet. He's still looking for food on the ground. Yes. He's kind of a slow eater. It's okay. We're just going to get right in the threshold. So, what I do in the beginning, I walk in the house. Okay? If Z tries to follow me, I block him with my body. And I wait for this. Yes. And I invite him in. And I give him a handful of food. And then I come back out. If he tries to follow me, I block him. He waits. Nope. Yes. And after the word yes, I pull out my food from my food pouch. And I feed the dog. Okay? And I repeat this. Stops at the door. Okay? Yes. I invite him in. I give him a handful of food. Good boy. I come back out. He turns to come out. I block him with my body or I use the leash. He waits. Yes. And then I allow him out after I say the word yes. Okay? He comes back. Block him with my body. If he comes past the threshold, I block him with my body. He waits. Yes. Come back out. Tries to come out, I simply block him with my body. Yes. And after I say the word yes, he's free to come out. Get his food. Good boy. Stop him at the door. Good boy. He waits. Yes. And let him know that he can come in once I say the word. Okay? Yes. Good. Nope. Yes. He steps past that line. I simply use my body and my leash as spatial pressure to move the dog back behind the threshold. He's waiting nicely. I say the word yes. And I allow him out to come get his food. Okay? Now it's not going to take long for him to pick up on the fact that every time I say the word yes, he gets food. Yes, food. Yes, food. The only reason that I do it at the threshold is because I'm knocking two birds out with one stone. I'm teaching two things at a time. I'm teaching you to stop at the door, and then I also teach you the marker word. Yes, you come through the door, you get food. Stop at the door. Yes, you come through the door and get food. Stop at the door. Yes, you come out and get food. The same thing with their kennel. Same thing with their car doors. Same thing with any door that leads into a larger space. Same thing with gates. So if I have a gate door and I don't want my dog coming past a certain spot. In fact, let's just do that right now. I'm going to walk you over quick. So this would be an example of how to teach your dog not to go past a certain point in your yard. Here's this nice line here on my gate that I can use as kind of a mental picture of where I want my dog to stop. I have my dog. coming toward me, I block him, or I use the leash. I have a little bigger opening, so I'm not able to use my body pressure as much. But I stop him, he yields, yes. I tell him yes, he can come past, gets a handful of food, okay? And I do the same thing. I come this way, I come this back into my yard. If he passes the line, I use my spatial pressure, I block him. Once he yields and stops, yes, he can come back in to the yard, okay? So, same thing. I just repeat this process. I'm coming this way. If he goes to pass the line, or you see him heading past the line, block him with your body and block him with the leash. He stops, he yields, yes. I mark it and allow him to feed and reward. Okay? I come back. Now with a dog that I'm trying to keep in my yard, I'm probably not going to give a crap about him stopping coming back into my yard. Probably just going to do stopping going out of my yard. Okay? But for the front door, I definitely want him stopping both ways. For my kennel door, I probably don't care as much about him stopping going in as I do stopping him coming out. So in the beginning, it's just a good pace to show him stop here, enter, stop here, enter, stop here, enter. You can reward your dog for both. Kennel, you can do kennel drills, you can do threshold drills, you can do gate drills, all while you're charging the mark. So you're doubling up on your work. You're teaching the dog that yes means food is coming, and you're touching your dog to stop at this point. In the beginning, it is an unconditioned stimulus. The dog doesn't know to stop here. The dog doesn't even know what the word yes means yet. But if I pair yes, food, yes, food, yes, food, yes, food, now my unconditioned stimulus of the word yes becomes a conditioned stimulus, and my unconditioned response of me pulling food out of my pocket becomes salvation in the dog after enough pairings. I say the word yes, and the dog starts drooling because he's expecting food. I've paired that together enough to where now when I say yes, you'll see those ears spike up, you see them perk up, and you'll be like, hey, you got something for me, buddy? Yes, I do. I have food. And then I continue my work. It doesn't take much more than a couple days, and now you have a dog who, when you go out with him, you say, hey, buddy, you ready? You go out, and I say yes, and I pay the dog. Yes, I pay the dog. Yes, I pay the dog. In the beginning, the dog has to do absolutely nothing to earn that reward. And as my dog gets more and more repetition, now you start seeing the dog pay attention to you. If they don't pay attention to you, who gives a crap? Just don't say yes yet. But if you go out and do this 3 times a day for a week, I guarantee you, your dog starts paying attention to you. And when they do, you start to pay them for paying attention to you. They look at you, yes, food. They look at you, yes, food. Look at you, yes, food. You continue that until you see this dog who's just like glued to you. And now, it's not good enough to just look at you and look away. Now you have to look at me for a second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 10 seconds, until you get the magic word of yes to get your food. Pretty awesome. And then you go to different environments, and now your dog is just like, you say, hey, you ready, buddy? Because you've been saying, are you ready? Every time you start your session, you say, are you ready? Start the session. And when you're done, you say, we're done. And you put the dog away. So you have a starting point. Are you ready? You start the session with saying, yes, food. Yes, food, yes, food. You finish, you say, we're done. It's learning to put your dog into drive, into working mode, keeping the energy low at first. If you have a pet dog, you're not going to want to put your dog into a state of high drive. If you have a working dog, or say I want to do something like bite work, once I develop my toy relationship and I have my dog biting their toy and they're biting it with energy and they're letting go when I tell them to let go and they're bringing it back to me and they're doing this every time, awesome. Now I'm going to make it more difficult for the dog to attain this reward of his by back tying him to a leash. Back tying him to a post. I back tie him to a tree, back tie him to something like this where I have him now, he's back tied. And I go, "Are you ready, buddy?" And I pull that toy out and he's like, "Oh my God, toy time. Yes, I love this." But he's restricted from getting to it. I can't get to my toy, I can't get to my toy. Oh my God, I can't get to my toy. I really want my toy. And he gives you that like, I really want to freaking play with you. That's when you reward him, yes, and bam. You hit the toy out and you let him play with your toy. He plays with you, You out him, he lets the toy go. You back up 2-3 feet out of range. You say yes. He's freaking out trying to get to the toy. If he's not putting in that high energy, then you don't give him that toy. If you're trying to build drive for the exercise, you don't reward him with the word yes and the toy or yes and the food until he gives you that higher level of energy, okay? So that's how we can get our dogs. Now the same thing goes if your dog is high energy and you want a lower energy for the work, then you only mark and reward that dog when they're at a lower state of energy, okay? So too much drive in the beginning can be self-defeating because the dog gets so jacked up that they can't concentrate anymore. So balance your levels of drive, okay? When I want a dog doing bite work, okay, and playing with me, doing like tug work or bite work, or if I'm doing like a military dog or police dog, I want him to be psychotic when he's biting and playing with me. I want a nut job dog, okay? If I'm doing something with food, then I probably want a little bit lower drive so that I can continue working with my dog in that lower energy state and he's not so fixated on the food that he can't even listen to like a sit command or a watch me command or anything like that. So balance your levels of drive and use certain levels of drive for certain exercises. Inside the house, okay, don't play ball inside the house if you want a calm dog. Okay, that's just stupid. You're building drive for high energy inside the house. Go outside, okay? If you want a low calm energy dog inside, don't play inside. You don't bring your dog up in level of drive with food inside the house, okay? If you want them low drive, reward them when they're in the low level state of energy. If you want high drive, only reward when they're a crazy psychotic nut job, okay? Balance the drive, people. And if you have any questions, like I said before, email me, Jamie, Jaime, at unleashedomaha.com. You can private message me on the Unleashed Omaha page on Facebook, or you can dial me direct, 402-965-1114. Set up a session for you, and I'll come to your house and I'll teach you all this stuff firsthand. You guys have an awesome day, and we'll talk to you soon.